Your plunger is not weak. Your arms are not weak either. That is not why the clog is still sitting there. Listen for this next time. You push down, and at the bottom of the stroke, you hear a little burp, wet and sputtery, coming out around the edge of the rubber. That is air escaping past the rim, and every bit of it is pressure that never reached the clog. A plunger is not a hammer. It is a pump, and a pump only moves what it is sealed against. When that rim is not tight to the porcelain, you are squeezing a balloon with a hole in it. 20 minutes of that and the clog has not budged, and now you are reaching for the phone. The fix costs about $2, and the jar is probably in your medicine cabinet already. Petroleum jelly. A finger scoop smeared around the rim turns a leaky cup into a real gasket. Clogs that shrugged off 20 plunges let go in 3 or 4. But the jelly is only one piece. Uncle Ray taught me the rest on a Saturday morning in 1993 with a toilet, a bucket, and 9 words of instruction. 12 points, starting before you touch the water. Number 1. The right plunger shape. Number 1. The plunger you own is probably wrong for the job in front of you. There are 2 shapes, and they are not interchangeable. A cup plunger is the classic red rubber half ball on a wooden stick, flat all the way around the bottom lip, made for flat surfaces, sinks, tubs, shower pans. A flange plunger is that same cup with a soft rubber sleeve folding out of the bottom, like a tongue. That sleeve exists for one reason. A toilet drain is not flat. It is a curved throat, and a flat cup cannot seal against a curve. Here is the part people skip. Most houses own one plunger, the flat cup kind, and they use it on the toilet. You are trying to seal a round hole with a flat lid. A flange plunger runs $8 to $15. Once. The after-hours call for a stopped toilet on a Sunday night runs $200 to $350. I have written that ticket, and half the time the fix took 4 minutes. Buy the right shape, then set it right, because a flange plunger used wrong is just an expensive cup plunger. Number 2. Fold the flange out and seat it. Number 2. Fold that flange all the way out and seat it down in the throat. New flange plungers come with the sleeve tucked up inside the cup, and a lot of people never notice it. They use it folded in and end up with a flat cup plunger carrying extra rubber. Reach in and pull that sleeve down until it stands out straight. Now, set it. You are not laying it on top of the hole. You are feeding that flange down into the throat until the sleeve is inside the pipe and the cup sits flat on the porcelain around it. 2 seals working together. Go in at a slight angle so the water pushes air out from underneath instead of trapping a pocket. One note on sinks. A cup plunger needs a flat, clean landing zone. Pull the strainer basket and wipe any grease around the drain because rubber does not seal to grease, and that brings up the leak nobody thinks about because it is not at the plunger at all. Number 3. Plug the overflow hole. Number 3. Plug the overflow hole, or you are pumping air out the side of the sink. Look at your bathroom sink. Near the top of the basin, on the back wall, there is a small hole. Your tub has one too, a chrome plate at the faucet end with the drain lever on it. That is the overflow, a bypass tied into the same drain line below the basin. So when you plunge without covering it, your pressure goes up the bypass and out into the room. Water bubbles out of that little hole, and you think the sink is fighting you. It is venting. Take a washcloth, soak it, wring it damp, and stuff it in that opening. Damp grips and seals better than dry. On a tub, hold a folded wet rag hard against the plate, or run duct tape over it. Kitchen sinks have no overflow, but a double bowl gives you the same problem twice. Plug that second drain, and hold it down. Same idea every time. Close the leaks, and before I get to the jelly, I want to plant something. Somewhere in this list is one change to how you move the handle that outworks everything else combined, and almost nobody does it. Not pushing harder. Hold that thought. Number 4. Water has to cover the cup. Number 4. The cup has to be underwater. All of it. Pure physics. Water does not compress. Air does. When the cup is full of water and sealed, every push drives it down the pipe with real force. Full of air, you are squeezing a cushion that springs back. So look before you start. On a toilet, the water should be up over the top of the rubber once you set it in. If the bowl drained down low, and it often does after a partial clog, add water. A pitcher, a bucket, a pot from the kitchen, until that cup is submerged. On a sink or tub, 2 or 3 inches, enough to cover the rubber. Now, a caution that matters more than any trick in this video. If you have already poured a chemical drain opener down that fixture, stop. Do not plunge it. That water is caustic. Plunging throws it, and it lands in your eyes or on your arms. Bail it out with a cup and a bucket, wearing gloves and eye protection. Flush with clean water, and only then reach for the plunger. I have seen what it does to a forearm. Everything is ready now except the rubber itself, and that is where the $2 comes in. Number 5. The petroleum jelly gasket. Number 5. Smear petroleum jelly all the way around the rim of the plunger. Scoop out about a fingertip's worth, the size of a large pea, and run it around the outer edge of the rubber. The lip, the part that touches the porcelain. Thin, even film, not a glob. If it strings off your finger, wipe some back. That film fills in the imperfections. Your rim looks smooth, but it is not. Rubber that sat in a closet for 6 years goes stiff and warped and picks up nicks along the edge, and porcelain glaze has a texture of its own. Put those 2 dry surfaces together, and you get dozens of little channels around the perimeter. That is the burp sound from the top of this video. The jelly closes those channels. Rough contact becomes a gasket. Now the water has one place to go, down the pipe toward the clog, and the pressure you make finally arrives where the problem is. Let me be honest about the title. Twice as well is a fair description of a sealed plunger against a leaking one, and I stand behind it. But it is not magic. If your rubber is cracked or split, jelly will not save it. If the blockage is a toy, a toothbrush, or tree roots out in the main line, no amount of sealing gets you there. What the jelly does is make sure a plunger that could have worked actually does work. Between you and me, that is most of what I ever got called out for. $2 jar you already own, plunger already in the closet, against a $200 to $350 after-hours call. That is why Uncle Ray kept one in his truck box for 30 years. Wipe that rim off when you are finished. I will come back to why. Quick word here, since we are on the subject. My book, 101 Ways to Unclog Any Drain, runs on the same idea as that jelly trick. Every fix in it uses something cheap you already have in the cabinet. Link is in the description, or scan the code on your screen. And subscribe to the Vintage Pipe Fitter for more old-school know-how that saves you money every week. Number 6. Pre-soften the clog. While you set up. Number 6. Pre-soften a toilet clog while you are getting set up. Before you commit to plunging, squirt a long pour of liquid dish soap into the bowl, whatever sits by the kitchen sink. Then fill a bucket at the tub with hot tap water and pour it in from waist height. The soap coats the sides of the trap and cuts the greasy binder holding a soft clog together. The hot water thins the whole mess out. Give it 10 or 15 minutes while you plug the overflow and grease your rim, and a fair number of clogs let go before you touch the handle. Hot tap water. not boiling. Boiling water in a porcelain bowl can crack it, especially an older bowl or a cold one, and a cracked bowl is a $200 fixture plus labor. Boiling water in a PVC drain line is bad news too, because PVC softens right around that temperature, and glued joints can let go. Hot from the tap runs about 120 degrees. That is all you need. And while I am correcting things, baking soda and vinegar does not open drains. That fizz spends itself in about 15 seconds up in the bowl, well above the clog, and produces almost no pressure down where the blockage is. Fine for freshening a smell. It is not a drain opener. Dish soap and hot water actually does something, which is why it is the one I use. The next mistake is waiting in the first stroke. Number 7. Your first push is slow. Number 7. Your first push is slow and gentle, every time. Here is what happens when folks skip it. They set the plunger, rear back, and slam it. The cup is still holding a pocket of air underneath, and that air has to go somewhere fast, so it blows out sideways and takes the water with it. Now you have toilet water across the floor, the seal is broken, and you are starting over. I have watched that from a doorway more times than I can count, and I always felt bad, because nobody ever told them. So the first stroke is a slow, steady press. All the way down, easy, no speed. That squeezes the trapped air out around the edge on purpose and lets water fill the cup behind it. You will feel it change. The handle goes from spongy to solid. That is the cup running full of water instead of air. Once you feel solid, you have a working pump. Do not lift that cup off the drain again, which is exactly what number 8 is about, and it is where most people quit right before the thing would have worked. Number 8. Short rhythmic strokes. Number 8. Short rhythmic strokes for 15 to 20 seconds, and the seal never breaks. Once the cup is solid, you shorten your motion. Not big pumps from the shoulder. Short, quick strokes from the elbows. 4 to 6 inches of travel, and the rim never comes up off the porcelain. Think of working a bicycle pump, not swinging an axe. 15 to 20 seconds is one set. Then stop and look. Did the water level drop? A drop means the clog moved and water is getting past it, so keep going. No change at all means the seal is leaking, or this is not a plunger job, and I will show you how to tell those apart before we are done. Rhythm matters because you are not simply pushing. You are creating a back and forth surge inside the trap, and that alternating pressure breaks a soft mass apart. One heroic shove does very little. 20 quick ones do a lot. It is also why arm strength has nothing to do with it. I once watched a woman about 5'2" clear a toilet in 9 seconds that her husband had fought for half an hour. She had a seal. He did not. Now, remember what I planted back at number 3. That is next. Number 9. The pull is the stroke that works. Number 9. The pull is the stroke that does the work, not the push. Everybody plunges by pushing. Down, 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 driving at that clog like they mean to force it through. And a push does exactly what you would expect. It packs the clog tighter and shoves it into a narrower spot where it wedges harder than before. The pull does the opposite. When you yank the handle up while the seal is holding, you create suction on the drain side. You are pulling that clog back toward you into the wider part of the trap, and that is where it comes apart. A wad of paper packed solid going one direction loosens the second you tug it the other way, same as pulling a cork instead of pushing it. So change your emphasis. Set the cup, press down slow to fill it, then put the effort on the up motion. Down easy, up hard, down easy, up hard. Keep the rim planted so the suction has something to pull against, because if the seal breaks on the upstroke, all you get is a slurp of air. And that, I'll tell you, is why the petroleum jelly matters twice as much as it looks like it should. A dry rim might hold on a push. It almost never holds on a pull, because a pull is trying to lift the rubber off the surface. The jelly keeps it stuck down. Seal plus pull stroke is the whole trick, and it turns 20 minutes of nothing into 3 or 4 good strokes. When it lets go, you will hear it. A deep gulp, and the water drops right out of the bowl. That is the sound you are working for. Number 10. Wipe the rim and store it right. Number 10. Wipe the rim clean when you are done and store the thing properly. 2 reasons, and neither one is fussiness. First, petroleum jelly holds on to whatever it touches. Leave it on, and it collects grit, hair, and lint off the closet floor. And next time, the edge is coated in fine sandpaper instead of a smooth gasket. 2 seconds with a paper towel and dish soap. Second, and this is the bigger one, jelly left sitting on rubber for months will slowly soften and swell it. Once in a while, wiped off after, is nothing. A permanently greased plunger goes mushy on you in a couple of years. Apply, use, wipe. Store it dry and standing up, not head down in a bucket of old water. And keep 2 if you can, 1 for the toilet and 1 for sinks and tubs, marked so you know which is which. Uncle Ray was firm about that. Now, that business about jelly softening rubber leads into the most important thing in this whole video, and it has nothing to do with plungers. Number 11. Never use it inside a fixture. Number 11. Never put petroleum jelly on the rubber parts inside a faucet or a valve. Hear this one clearly, because the trick I just handed you turns into an expensive habit if you take it the wrong direction. Petroleum jelly is petroleum-based. The rubber in plumbing seals, and I mean O-rings, faucet cartridge seals, stem washers, hose bib packing, toilet fill valve seals, is mostly an inexpensive rubber that petroleum attacks. Not right away. Slowly. It swells the ring, softens it, turns it gummy over a few months, and then that ring cannot hold its shape in the groove, and you have a drip you cannot chase down. I have pulled apart cartridges a homeowner greased with jelly 2 years earlier and found what looked like chewed gum. A plunger rim is different. It is thick, on the outside, wiped clean, and it never has to hold a shape under pressure inside a machined groove. Occasional use there is fine. Inside a fixture, you want silicone grease, sometimes labeled plumber's grease or faucet grease, sold in a little tub at any hardware store for $4 to $8. It is safe on every rubber in a plumbing fixture. It does not swell anything. And 1 tub lasts the rest of your life. Thin film on the O-ring, thin film on the cartridge body, and back together. The dollar difference is real. $6 tub of silicone against a cartridge in a single handle shower valve. A $40 to $90 part plus a $150 to $250 service call if you are not doing it yourself. 9 times out of 10, the cheap right answer and the expensive wrong answer sit on the same shelf looking identical. One more, and it is about knowing when you are finished. Number 12. Know when to stop. Number 12. 3 good rounds with no movement means this is not a plunging problem. Right plunger, flange out, overflow plugged, water over the cup, jelly on the rim, 3 full sets with a proper pull stroke. If that water has not budged, stop. More plunging will not help, and past a certain point, you can drive a clog somewhere worse. Here is how to read it. If it is one fixture, and only that fixture, the blockage is local. It is in the trap or the branch line, and your next step is a small hand auger. A 25-foot drum auger runs $25 to $40 and handles most of what a plunger will not. If more than one fixture is backing up, that is a different animal. Toilet gurgles when the washing machine drains. Tub fills when you flush. Floor drain in the basement, weeping. That pattern means the main line, and that is not a plunger job or a hand auger job. That is a sewer machine and a camera. $250 to $500 and worth every dollar, because guessing at a main line is how people end up with a wet basement. And I will say what I say every time out. Gas lines, anything behind a wall that needs a permit, and a sewer main you cannot see. Those belong to a licensed pro. Knowing which side of that line you are standing on is worth as much as any trick I could teach you. Before you go. 101 ways to unclog. Any drain covers every drain in the house. Kitchen sink and disposal. Bathroom, tub and shower, toilet, laundry, floor drains, and the main line. Each one you handle yourself is a $150 to $400 service call you never make. The link sits in the description. Stay with the vintage pipe fitter, and I will keep handing down the old ways. One last thing before you go, and this one is free. If your plunger has sat in that closet a long time, and the rubber has gone hard and shiny, run it under the hottest tap water you have got for 2 or 3 minutes first, right there in the tub. Old rubber softens back up, and a soft cup conforms to porcelain in a way a stiff one never will. Then put the jelly on that warm rim, and you have about the best seal a plunger is capable of making. Warm rubber and a greased lip. Uncle Ray never called it anything. He just did it, every single time. And I did not understand why until about 10 years in. Go take care of that drain. I will see you next time.